the powerhouses of the various forces on the Shadowed Star has a love-hate heart for Yanpei. What they love is that once he presides over the auction, it must be very good. Naturally, what they hate is that the old guy's asking price is outrageous. Even the big forces can't stand his exploits. 2 Third Order Void Return stage stand here, which shows how much Treasure Assembly Pavilion attaches importance to this auction. Seeing Yankai's arrival, whether it was Fei G2 or Yanpei, they both smiled. The young girl Ching'er who led the way saw it. Her face was shocked, and she didn't expect that the young man she was receiving seemed to be of an unusual identity. Even the Great Elder has a rare smile, and he was even more happy now. For her, the more honorable Yanka's status is, the more rewards she might receive. If she is lucky enough to be favored by Yankai, she won't have to worry about the resources for future cultivation. After all, he is holding a golden invitation card. Those who come will definitely not lack a Saint Crystal. I have seen 2 seniors. Yankai twitched his mouth, but had to step forward to salute. That's the downside of being a low-ranking person, and you have to be a dwarf wherever you go. Haha, no need to be polite. Fei G2 smiled slightly, stretched out his hand, and an invisible force lifted Yankai up, with an amiable expression. Since the last time he was in the Emperor Garden, he saw the Ice Phoenix Remnant Soul. Naturally, Fei G2 didn't dare to look down on Yankai anymore. Even if it is just a ray of Remnant Soul, it is the legendary ancient Holy Spirit that has long since disappeared. It can be said that as long as Yankai did not die, as his strength improves, the power that can exert that ancient Holy Spirit's remnant soul will grow stronger. Suppressed by the laws of the Shadowed Star world, Yankai may not have the opportunity to advance to the Void King realm. But at the level of Void Return stage, with the help of the remnant Ice Phoenix Soul, he is absolutely invincible. Now, Yankai is still weak and it is the best time to have a good relationship, since it won't be so easy to build friendship when he becomes strong. I heard that you kid caused another trouble some time ago. Fei G2 smiled, meaning something. I don't know what the seniors are referring to. Yankai asked suspiciously. Don't pretend to be confused. You killed the people in Sea Heart Sect. Fei G2 glared at him. It turned out to be Sea Heart Sect. Yes, I killed the people. Why? Did the predecessor hear any noise? Yankai glanced. That's not true. Fei G2 slowly shook his head. It's just that although Sea Heart Sect is far away in the limitless ocean, but after all, it is a second-line sect, and its strength cannot be underestimated. Have you ever considered the consequences of such unscrupulous act? Yankai smiled. I was bullied to the head. Do you want me to bear it? See him with a sharp look. Fei G2 laughed blankly. If you can bear it, then it's not you. The last time he made a big riot in Heavenly Fate City, he dealt with 7 or 8 Void Return stage, and even killed a strong Xie family. Fei G2 had long known that Yankai was not a peaceful person, but just reminded indifferently. But I heard that people from Sea Heart Sector are now staying in Xie's house. The relationship between the two seems to be very good. Yankai squinted his eyes, cupped his fist and said, Thank you, senior, for reminding. And besides that, it seems that there is also a force called Flowing Cloud Valley who has also stationed in Xie's family house. Anyway, just be careful. Flowing Cloud Valley? Yankai frowned, his expression slightly changed. Why, could it be you have some grudges with this Flowing Cloud Valley? Fei G2 was shocked. Yankai chuckled. Seeing his acquiescence, Fei G2 looked speechless, waved his hand and said, It's nothing. Young people are full of vitality. You can make trouble. Don't make trouble in my Heavenly Fate City. Anyway, the Flowing Cloud Valley is not something you have to worry about. Junior, understand? Yankai nodded lightly. Fei G2 thought that Flowing Cloud Valley was just a trivial little force, but Yankai was a little afraid of it. There is no other reason, but there was a Lu Yi in Flowing Cloud Valley. Yankai didn't know where he had provoked this Lu Yi. This person wanted to put himself to death in the flowing flame sand, and even though he successfully cut off his arm, he still let him escape. At that time, Yang Kai felt that this Lui was a little unusual. Even an elite like Wei Gucheng was probably not his opponent. Facing this Lui, Yang Kai faintly had the feeling of facing the cold-hearted young man of Star Emperor Mountain called Lengxing, both of which threatened him greatly. This feeling was something Ku Changfeng and Fang Tianjiang did not possess. A small flowing cloud valley can cultivate such a disciple. Even if it is insignificant, Yang Kai does not dare to take it lightly. Therefore, he deliberately collected information on Flowing Cloud Valley. Now, when Fei Jitu mentioned it, he naturally remembered this Lu Yi person. Now that several years have passed, he did not know how the cultivation level of this Lu Yi has progressed. If he encountered him again, it will be decided that someone will die. However, Yang Kai is not afraid of him. After all, his own strength has improved a lot compared to a few years ago, and he has countless more methods to confront his enemies. Here, Yang Kai and Fei Jitu's conversation ended, but Yan Pei over there seemed to be impatient to continue. Little friend Yang is here to participate in the auction, which really makes the auction and establishment shine. Hee, seniors are polite. It is the honor of juniors to be able to participate in this auction. Yang Kai looked humble. Yan Pei was still amiable, and lowered his voice. Does the little friend intend to send some more items? Although the auction items have been confirmed, if the little friend sends item for auction, the old man can open a convenient door. It won't be difficult for this old man. Senior is joking. The good things that my master has accumulated over the years have been put out for auction last time, and now there is really nothing that can be sold. Yang Kai casually said nonsense. Anyway, he kept holding the non-existent master. With tiger skin as the banner, no one can be sure whether there is such an expert in Dragon Cave Mountain, so opening his eyes to talk nonsense does not have the slightest psychological burden for Yang Kai. That's it. Yan Pei showed a look of disappointment, and suddenly whispered, how about the old man give 50% handling fee? Really gone. Yang Kai looked bitter. Hee, since it's the case, that is not something that the old man can help. Well, since the little friend is here, don't stand outside. Go in and rest for a while, and the auction will start on time after an hour. Yan Pei no longer pressing the matter and reluctantly let go. Yang Kai pleaded guilty and walked directly into the treasure assembly pavilion with the young Yan and the young female Ching'er. Like the situation seen last time, the hall in the building is already full of cultivators who come to participate in the auction. Even if there are occasional spaces, the number is not many. And in the middle position, there is a round platform. It is the place where Treasure Assembly Pavilion presides over the auction. The surrounding walls are inlaid with strange stones, and beams of light are emitted from the strange stones, showing the subtleties of the high platform. The two seniors wait a moment. The young girl Ching'er entered here, said softly, and went to the side to talk with the martial artist in the treasure building over there. After a while, she returned with a smile, and handed a wooden sign to Yang Kai respectfully. This is the restriction token for the 2 wing rooms, please keep it. Yang Kai took it, glanced at it, and found that the wooden sign was engraved with the words B13. After all, he had participated in such an auction before, so Yang Kai was familiar with it, knowing that his wing room number was B13. But it's a coincidence. The last time he participated in the auction here, the room number he got was C13, but today it is B13. Although the number has not changed, the grade has obviously been upgraded by 1 level. Last time it was because of Qian Tong, but this time, it didn't rely on anyone's prestige, and it was entirely based on Dragon Cave Mountain's own reputation. Thinking of this, Yang Kai raised the corner of his mouth slightly, collected the token, and signaled the girl to lead the way. After a while, Yang Kai and Yang Yan were already seated in the number 13 wing, and Ching'er was waiting on the side, serving tea and pouring water, and there was no one in the wing except her. Pointing to the spirit fruit on the table, the girl slowly said, "This is the spirit fruit collected specially for this auction. It tastes sweet and has a little pure Saint Yuan. You too may wish to taste one or two." Yang Kai nodded slightly, took one into his mouth, and nodded in satisfaction. Seeing that his expression was good, the girl boldly asked, "The auction will only start in 1 hour. If the two seniors don't mind, they can ask some people to dance and relieve their boredom." "Oh, your hospitality and treasure assembly pavilion is so considerate," Yang Yan asked in surprise. The girl pursed her mouth and smiled. "Not every guest who comes here has this right, only the wing rooms above the B block can." Yang Yan glanced at her up and down, and said with a sweet smile, "It's no longer necessary to ask someone to come. Seeing that your waist is soft and your walking is light, I think you should know this well. How about you come to dance, Junior?" The girl flushed, and looked at Yang Kai timidly. Although she was not high in realm, she could see that the two distinguished guests here were mainly Yang Kai, so naturally she had to get his approval first. "Don't make trouble." Yang Kai glared at Yang Yan, then looked at the girl and said, "She was joking with you, you don't have to take it seriously." "Yes," the girl replied softly. There was a hint of happiness and disappointment flashed in her eyes. Fortunately, the two guests she received seemed to be good. Although the woman liked to tease her, she was not bad, and this man was obviously also an upright person. To her disappointment, she had no chance to perform. Yang Kai was able to guess what she was thinking, and he could guess what she was thinking. "We two have no other requirements. You can do your own thing. After the auction is over, your benefit is indispensable." The girl was overjoyed when she heard this, and said, "Thank you, senior." It seems that the tempers of the two distinguished guests have been found out, and the girl is quiet in place. Unless Yang Kai and Yang Yan ask about something, she never takes the initiative to speak but stands quietly and waits. During the period, Wei Gucheng and Dong Xuanair came once and chatted with Yang Kai for a long time. It's not surprising that the two of them can find this place. They only need to find Yan Pei to find out where Yang Kai is. After the two people left, the auction started almost at the same time. To be continued.